welcome back to another edition of the Justin Time Podcast. I'm here with Will. How you
I'm
doing
good,
today?
brother. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome
Doing
back, brother.
good. Nice
It's good
Mother's
to
Day and
see you.
everything.
Oh yeah, everything. Just had a Mother's Day gathering at our church. On our pastor. Just her being the prophet of the house. It's a blessing. Just really have that covering spiritually, and of course, honoring the rest of the mothers of our church home. So it's a blessing of a day. To see what the Lord does every day. Just
Yeah.
can't take it for granted.
I know a few mothers who didn't have a good day because their sons got their butts kicked. Real quickly, we're just going to break down the weekend. We're not
Hmm.
going to go into it too much because, frankly, it was painful and I don't want to go through it all that much.
And nor should you. At least not again.
So
Nor should
let's
you.
start with the first game, then we'll go second game. We'll go the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what we'll
Hmm.
call this.
That's gonna be fun.
So honestly, I think we look good. We weren't terrible on the mound. We just cannot this year we just cannot finish ball games.
Yeah.
We score 2 in the first. Schmidt gives up 2 as well. He gets a line out to third base to start it off. Then he gives up a home run. Oh well, so what? Those guys have been hitting home runs. They lead the SEC in home runs.
Mhm.
Whatever. One home run, that guy's not going to beat you. You hit a guy.
Yeah.
You hit another guy. You walk another guy.
Just like that, basically.
You strike somebody out. You think, oh, he's turning it around.
Hmm.
A walk. Georgia puts up 2 in that inning. We get a strikeout to end it. Good job. Second inning, we don't get nothing. Neither do they. We go to the third, strikes out. Cerna home runs to center field. Curiel singles. Aaron Beatty sent homers to center field. Milan struck out. Pearson homer to left. I'm feeling really good. I think we're going to blow this thing open.
Until
Strikeout, single, wild pitch. Out at first on fielder's choice, a run scores unearned, 4-1. I'm still feeling good. Go to the top of the fourth, we get another run across. Curiel had a sac fly, and we scored. They get another run. These ones came off a hit, so I'm fine with that. We start doing good. We start going cold offensively. 2-run home run from Georgia, then followed by another home run. I think at this point, the game is now tied. No, we're up by 1. Now, here's where I take issue. And while I think that it going to Birmingham speeds a lot of things up with these reviews,
yeah.
I think the rule needs to change and we need to go to centralized NCAA location because there's no excuse for what transpired with that call in the 7th where we go up 1, but because, let me be nice,
There you go.
Wes Johnson wants interference on Curiel, who never touched him, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was just him whining. I think his foot came off the base. If his foot was on there, you need a microscope to see it. And I think that overturned call was horrible.
Yeah. Scott was saying just like, it's if you stick to the call, like it'd be one thing. If it's out, it's out, safe, it'll be like, but to overturn it with that minute, like just
You needed a microscope to see that.
right. And he was saying just indisputable evidence. You gotta have indisputable. That's the bottom line. I mean, listen, you got Hawkeye. Listen, nobody's perfect, but it's like at a serious point in the game. We're in the bottom stretch of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
you can't make that call. So we go. They give us 1, I think, the next half inning because that dude didn't raise his hand, and that was on runner's interference or batter's interference. But we give up a 3-run home run, and that's all she wrote. That's it. The LSU books people got tired. They didn't even put the last 2 innings. Then we hit the ugly.
There you go.
Georgia comes up with an 8-run second because we couldn't get out the inning. And I need to change that on our sheet. I gave Paz.
Okay, gotcha.
Hell no, that ain't happening. Screw it. I'll give it to Evan since he came back from injury.
That's my reason.
We just looked horrible. There's no better
Yeah.
way to say that. I'm not going to go through this game pitch by pitch like I did the first one.
Yeah.
We gave up. At one point, I was watching a game and I was doing other stuff. At one point, I got up to use the bathroom. O'Shaughnessy hit a home run.
Mm.
I got up to get some water. Ishikawa hit a home run. I got up to go see what was at the door. Another dude hit a home run. Every time I got a home run, they got a home run, I got up.
I said,
I was
it's
up.
look. Now listen, that's a pattern. So I said, you gotta
So I
stick to
sat
the
down the rest
system.
of the game,
There you
and we still lost.
I mean, you gotta shake it like just at least you're not rigid. I respect you not
Yeah.
being rigid, but
And then this horrible, you would think with your back against the wall, somebody would step up and show a little backbone to LSU.
mm, I was like, man,
Now 12-1 and 7 on Mother's Day. That's not a good look, especially when
that's
you're
not a
trying to
good
fight your
team up.
way into a regional.
Yes.
I
Oh,
don't know if
guys
you
at
were,
church all day, so
yeah,
the bless.
I don't know if you remember this, but we talked about it at the beginning.
Mm,
Would this be Jay Johnson's first team to win the SEC tournament?
yeah,
And I put a clip up on TikTok, and everybody was saying, "We don't care about that. We don't care about that." Somebody said, "Well, only if we need to. If we need to win the SEC
yeah,
tournament to get in the NCAA tournament." I'm going to put that clip right here and play it. But, we need to win the SEC tournament now. We don't have a choice. It doesn't matter what we do against Florida. I mean, it would help to get a sweep on Florida. You almost need to win. You need to win out. To keep
yeah.
playing, you need to
There's no
win.
option. Yeah, no option at this point.
You have no option. You need to win to keep going. This is playoff baseball now, a week into the season, a week left in the season. This is playoff baseball. If you want a chance at the tournament, you need to start by sweeping Florida.
Yeah,
I still would say they need to win the SEC tournament.
I totally agree with you.
If not, I think Jay Johnson gets a leg up on everybody else, and he's going to be back with a vengeance next season because he's got all of June to put together a team. He's got an extra month. And honestly, with our pitching, we could win the SEC championship. We could win the tournament. Hoover's a big ballpark, and it plays small. Our defense, I don't think, can cut it.
It hasn't cut it all year, regardless of where they're
Unless
playing.
they go out and buy 7 more players right now and just put them in. I say 7, but you got Braun, Milam, and Curiel. So really, 6.
Mm-hmm.
You go buy 6 players right now and you put them on the field, and the rest of them's uniform, and you might have a chance. But at the moment, they can't play solid defense to play in that big park. I think they get 1 or 2 wins in the SEC tournament, and I think it's just all downhill from there. Because this isn't like the 24 team who needed to make a good run.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they just.
yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
I was saying, it's funny. Like, as each day goes by, I feel like a lot of fans are really appreciating the 2014 more each day. Because,
Yeah,
it's one thing to see it like in the moment when you're in it. Because like, my coworker and I would talk about it. Just 24 it was a rough watch for a good bit. And we started 3-12. This year's team actually was started the first half of conference better than at 2014 because 2014 started 3-12. Now they
yeah,
finished 10-5. So, like, to their credit, they had some stalwarts, jumping a whole bit. Like, they had some foundation to stand on, especially in the second half of the year. This team had no consistency that they could stand on and hold their hat to.
yeah. Let's see. The only hope I have is that if we sweep Florida,
Hmm. To get that momentum.
we'll get that momentum. We'll be 12-18 going in. The 24 team finished the SEC regular season with 13 wins and 17 losses. That'll put us a game behind them, but I think they can make some ground up in the SEC tournament if they need to. Problem is, I don't feel like that's a possibility.
That's really the bottom line because, you brought up, just right before we went live, it's amazing how full circle this is. We were talking about before the season, just, about, do we really need to win a conference championship or a conference tournament? This team, can they win it? And like, said, we grew up, just, LSU's been so steady in baseball. It's just, yeah, they could win any tournament they want. I just don't prioritize it because it's sports like
Yeah,
baseball and basketball. You have so many games during the regular season. Like if you have a high RPI, if you're in a tough conference, you're going to get the quad one wins or the high RPI, whatever the case may be. So it's not going to damage you if you don't have a conference tournament win to your belt or a conference championship. This is a unique situation because they desperately need it. And like you said, one thing about, Coach Jay, he hasn't won a conference championship yet. Now, doesn't bother me because 2 national championships in 4.5 years, that's a great consolation prize. So, I mean, that's the
yeah.
bottom line. So, but this is the time for you. This is the perfect time to get your first conference title, okay? Because you desperately need it this year.
Mhm.
So,
I mean, you look at it and I mean, the way this season has gone, it's almost poetic that they need to win the conference tournament.
yes, yes,
If you look at past years, we could go home in the conference tournament. We could you really use it as momentum,
yeah.
you know. Or early Pulmonary years, Pulmonary just went out and just played it full out and won it when
Mhm.
he didn't really need to. But I think his teams were borderline, like they were national seed, but they were number 9 going in, and they needed that
Yeah.
to
The
go to
extra bump.
8.
Yeah, that's fair.
We need the extra bump to get in the tournament this year.
Yes.
But let's
We just
go
need
ahead
a
and
nudge, like
yeah,
anything.
let's go ahead and give our powerhouse pose for this week and
Mhm.
then move on. I'll let you go first.
Let's do it. So we're gonna start off with pitching. I'm gonna be honest with you. I struggle with pitching. Like just like right before we went live, I made that game time decision to to put that third guy up here. But
Yeah,
it's like pitching just gave us nothing. But, I put Casey Nevins number one, Danny Lockenmeyer number two, and Devin Shear in the third. Again, like just take it with a grain of salt because they just did not show up the second weekend in 3 weekends.
no,
This is last week, to their credit, they did what they had to do, but that's just an indictment on more so on South Carolina. But,
yeah,
we allowed 36 runs during the UGA series, double digits every game, including
mm-hmm,
the run rule in game 3. That's not going to win you. That's a 12 runs a game on average. Like, you're just not going to
yeah,
win. So, but I put his case in first. First off, shout out to him returning from injury this late in the season. Now he only pitched 1 2/3, but his 3 Ks were tied for the second most by any LSU pitcher during the Georgia series.
yeah.
Three strikeouts was tied for the second most by any pitcher on the staff this weekend.
And look, we lead the SEC in walks and hit by pitches and
Right.
wild pitches. We also lead the country in strikeouts. So having
It's
our pitchers only the second highest one be 3 strikeouts, that's wild to me.
Yeah, and it shows like the talent that we people talk about. They rag on like, oh, this not it can't be the most talented team because they lose it. I mean, talent is about projection, and it's like, and you see the talent flash throughout the year. It's just bottom line, is the production. That's the
Exactly.
bottom line.
If
So
you can look at talent and you can be the most talented team on paper. And I don't know why LSU fans weren't used to this by now with having the most talented team on players on the team on paper
yeah,
and having a disappointing season. It happens every football season. Look at Brian Kelly. I mean, every year that man disappointed us. He had the most talented team he's ever had on paper each year for him to be a giant disappointment. And I'm not saying that's Jay. I'm just saying
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. I
think
gotcha.
Jay looked at the numbers this year
Mm,
with the little time he had from the end of June to August when he got kids on campus. And I think he saw numbers that jumped out at him and he wasn't focused on personalities meshing like he was in the past years.
yeah, just like I said, it's just like I said, we're not going to be LSU. This program has too much history. You're not. It's hard to. It's going to be rare to be void of talent on this team. I
Yeah.
mean, but it's come out to the production. I put Danny Lockenmeyer. I'm about to pull his stuff up real quick. He was only one of the other guys had like a fair amount of work, 2 2/3. He only had 1 strikeout, but I mean, he kept it. He only gave up 1 earned run, so that's what gave him the edge for me for second place. Just limited the damage and whatever outing you have, however long you out there. Like you put like I got Devin Sharon at third. For really the same reason. When I get to write down his, yeah. So two and a third. He gave up 4 runs, but he had the second tie for the second most strikeouts with three. Gavin Guidry had three strikeouts too, but I only had 1 and 2/3. So I just gave the edge to Devin because he had more work on the mound. Like you
Yeah.
said, there was not much to gain with the pitching. Pitching
No.
was a mess this week.
I'll let you do your offense and defense, and then I'll do mine
Okay, yeah. So
instead of going
offense,
back and forth.
yeah, I totally understand. So offense, I put Derek Curiel number one, Mason Braun two, and Cade Aaron Beat at third. Curiel, he led the team with 5 hits over the weekend on 10 at bats, including an RB. I think it was a sac fly RBI and three
Yeah, it
walks.
was.
Yeah, so and he had three walks. So like, listen, I mean, when you get on base you have a 500 on base percentage via hit, including the other three walks. I mean, that's a very productive weekend for me. So
Yeah.
Mason Braun, he had 4 hits and two walks. And so obviously he was steady throughout the weekend. As far as Aaron B, he only had 2 hits. He edged out Rucker for me because Rucker had 3 hits for the weekend. I gave Aaron B the edge because he had 5 ribbies. So and reached base twice via walk. So when you talk about a series, like they were pretty solid offensively outside of game three. They were very solid offensively.
Yeah.
And when you bring in 5 runs, I mean you've done your part. I always say get on base and get home. I don't care. Look, you don't need 70 home runs for five different
Yeah.
players. I don't care about that. I love home runs, but I mean it's hard to hit home runs. So get on base, get home. So you got 5 ribbies. He got on base and got people home. So that was a very productive weekend. That's the only reason he edged out Rucker.
Yeah.
As far as my defense, Steven Milam, Derek Carrillo, and I put Jack Rucker again. Milam, what more can you say? I mean, just like you say, it's this whole season race for second place in defense.
Yeah.
Carrillo collected several flyouts, including an amazing diving catch in game one, which prevented a run from coming home. Obviously, in hindsight, doesn't matter, but I mean, at that moment, just preventing scores, that's a big play to make. He's been so steady, and Rucker,
Yeah.
obviously, Rucker last like he even though you know they had like a misplay with him and a couple other guys that missed like a shallow fly ball. But I mean, I didn't put that on him fully because it was like two other people in the area. But he was still very active in the infield with like multiple groundouts, and he had like a deep ground like throughout the first. So
Yeah.
so just like it's like a very deep throw to make the first one, which I thought was impressive. So those are my guys.
Yeah. Mine are, like you said, pitching wasn't much, but I got really, you could plug these guys in any order because none of them
Yeah,
did great. But I
right.
got Sharon, Schmidt, and Evans
Mhm.
for number three. And Evans made the list because, like I said earlier, he was coming back from injury and he fought out of a bases loaded, no out situation.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Then offense, I got Aaron Beatty, Cerna, and Braun. The kind of
Okay. Yeah.
hitting that Cerna did this weekend with a back injury
Yeah. Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah. I respect that. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Then defense, Curiel and Braun. I don't even need to say it. Marlon's number one. Then honestly, I don't have a tone setting Tiger because I'm just tired of doing it.
I just put, oh, baby, look, I just put, listen, everyone and everything,
I
like
mean,
I said
because
last week. Yeah. What else can
like
you say?
we've been saying that all season long. It's everybody,
Yeah.
and nobody shows up with the attitude to win. They don't have that "f you" attitude like they had in the years past. And it wasn't a confidence thing, an overconfidence or an arrogance thing. It was a confidence thing. They just knew that they had confidence that they were better than everybody else out on that field that was good. They were going against. They would lose. They would be pissed off in the meeting. They weren't sitting around like, yeah, hats off to that guy out there. He was really great. They were, no, I did this wrong. I did this. I need to improve here, here, and here. And, they don't have that this year. I really think it's a team leadership thing.
It was a big story in the earliest part of the year. And they started to, resettle in. But I mean, just, that's been a talking point for sure, and understandably so. And the thing is, like, my two, like, just like you have former put like said the same thing. So it's
Yeah.
like, you can take a fan's word with a grain of salt, but it's just, I mean, obviously everything is not what they say is Bible, but I mean, these guys, they feel it. They know what it takes to play here. at a high level
Yeah.
and the expectation.
You know, early on in the classroom, just to talk to my students, because we did this thing called the 7 A's and stuff for jobs.
Mhm.
I played them a video in the middle of it of the nickel demonstration by Skip Bertman.
Mm.
You've ever seen it?
It's been a while.
It's like he has a stack of nickels and he bends two of them. And the point is, you can't stack. If somebody's been out of shape or somebody doesn't fall in the line, you
Mhm.
can't build a foundation off of them.
Right.
I think that's the problem with this year's LSU baseball team. There's a lot of egos and there's not a lot of team meshing, or it could just be injuries across the board.
Well, injuries haven't helped at all. I mean, it just
No.
like compounds the struggles. Yeah, I see it right here.
Yeah.
Shout out to the goat.
Yeah.
Major shout
But,
out.
some stuff happened this week that genuinely made me laugh.
Let's hear it.
And it has to do with, of course, none other than Lane Kiffin. Did you see what he said this week to Vanity Fair?
Well, man, this it's got a lot of people talking. Got
Here,
a lot
I'll
of
give
people
you the
talking.
quote.
Got a lot of people talking.
When he was coaching in Oxford, Kiffin says top recruits would tell him, "Hey, coach, we really like you, but my grandparents aren't letting me move to Oxford, Mississippi." That doesn't come up when you say Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Parents are sitting here this weekend saying the campus's diversity feels so great. It feels like there's no segregation. Then in his apology, he goes, "I really apologize if anybody at Ole Miss or in Mississippi was offended by that. In a 4-hour interview, I was asked a lot of questions on a lot of things, and Ole Miss has been wonderful to me and my family.
Mm.
I was asked questions about the differences in recruiting, and I said the narrative that we battled there from out of state black parents, their grandparents, was not wanting their kids to move to Mississippi. That's a narrative that coaches have been fighting forever. It wasn't calculated by bringing it up." And I love that for Lane Kiffin. I mean, he goes in there, he stands his ground. He said what he said. He's not backtracking anything. He said, "I'm sorry if that offended you, but this is what I went through, and this is what all your coaches go through here in Mississippi."
Yeah. Yeah. And my thing is, well, a couple things. It's like man, nothing that he says like, it will ever change, their fan base. It's just not gonna
No.
be good enough at this point. So similar to Will Wade, but I mean, just like it's just nothing what he can do at this point that just got spurned. But I think like, with this region's history of, segregation, I mean, like you could really get that anywhere to be honest. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure like somebody's gonna have stories, somebody's not gonna like some and I mean that's that unfortunately that was their experience. But he
Yeah.
just becomes like what his players have told him. So,
Mhm.
like, if that upsets you, like, talk to the players and their family, and you
Yeah,
shouldn't even be upset about that anyway, because that's not even a player.
exactly.
That's not
And,
really their issue to begin with. But
I
you
mean,
could
let's
that
be
could happen
honest
anywhere.
here.
It's the South. That could happen anywhere, honestly.
Let's be honest here, okay?
Yeah.
If you were, let's say, from New York or from one of the northern states, let's say anywhere other than Mississippi or Louisiana, and you read that and read what he said, and you looked at Mississippi,
Mm.
would your first reaction not be, "Well, it tracks"?
I mean, listen,
Like you said, it's the South. That could happen everywhere,
yeah. I don't
you know?
I mean, because like I was curious, like what would like provoke him to? Because I wasn't there. Obviously, what made him bring that up? My thing is like
Yeah.
the thing is just you could fill in the blank with the school. It's not to me. It's
Mhm.
not a knock on Oxford. I mean, it's just this. You can fill in with Lexington,
It's
Baton Rouge, Tuscaloosa, Auburn, Gainesville, Nashville. Like it's the South. Like that's
yeah,
their history. I mean, it's bad history. Don't get me wrong, but just
yeah. It's just
I
but
don't think
that's
it's like
why
isolated to them.
that's why all these kids come up to me and they start complaining about their history classes and stuff
Mhm.
and why we need history.
Yeah,
You need history because you need to my favorite example for one of them is you a little kid and you go put your hand on the hot stove,
yeah,
you burn yourself. you learn not to touch the hot stove. Same thing with history. That's why we have history classes. So you can learn what those morons did back in the day
Mhm.
and how we learn not to do it.
Yes.
You know, that's your history. That just, it happened. That doesn't mean you have to act like they did back there, back in the
Yeah.
day,
Right.
but that's history. For Lane Kiffin to go out there and say that,
I'm like, dog, it's like just feel to the fire.
but like he could have gone and said anything, but he specifically played the race card
Like, bro, you in the South. Like,
in the
you could,
South.
bro, it's any sit. Like, you could have that stupid. Somebody got that same testimony about the LSU Tigers. It doesn't matter. That it's not isolated. It's not isolated to Oxford. Not isolated to Mississippi. It's
Yeah.
just one place in a big southern region.
Then for you to go in your apology and double down on what you said.
By the way, see the respect, but
I saw a
I'm like,
picture of
my
him
gosh.
today, like somebody, one of those AI pictures on Instagram, and it
Mhm.
was Lane Kiffin in the Pope box. Lane Kiffin in the bulletproof box on the sideline with a bulletproof vest coaching at Oxford.
Oh, yep. Somebody said you them Stones are like he gonna need a lot of security for that game. You
Yeah.
will.
I don't think after next year, I don't think we're gonna play that game again.
Oh,
I
really?
think
You
they
don't
go,
think so? Yeah.
well, not if Lane Kiffin keeps calling them racist and doing all of that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure why he was what provoked him to say that. I just the thing is like we're not discrediting what the players and their families think. I mean, because of course not everybody's not like that for one, but I
Yeah.
mean that's what they've heard and stuff. But it's not to one place. You can fill in the blank with everybody. It doesn't matter. Like it's the South.
Yeah. Like you said, we're not discrediting what those families and stuff have gone through.
Mhm.
We're just making comments about what possessed him to bring that up.
Yes. Like, and you didn't bring it up like so you've been the coach since the end of November, so 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But it's like, like
And
after you
let's he could have just said anything. He could have said, "Hey coach, the food in Oxford is terrible and my grandparents won't let me go there."
fill
Could
in
have
the
said
blank,
something like that, but he went there.
yeah, brother,
But
it's
in
tough.
other Lane Kiffin LSU football news, they're putting together a wall from the offensive line.
I'd hope so. That's man. They struggled mightily last year, man. The
Yeah.
offense was such a tough watch last year. I'm like,
Part
my
of that
goodness,
problem, I think a lot has to do with we've got a actual offensive line coach this year.
I just
I think a lot of those guys on that offensive side of the coaching staff last year
mhm.
were phoning it in most of the year, you know.
Yeah,
But shout out to softball team hosting a regional this weekend.
yes, good for them.
I think it's funny if you look at it, we're the 16 seed and Alabama's the 1 seed. And Southeastern and I think another Louisiana team is going to Tuscaloosa,
Mhm.
and we've got South Alabama over here.
Yeah, no, man, that's on Friday.
Yeah.
Akron on Friday. Yep, because we're in the
Yep. And then
cannot
Louisiana's
wait.
got high school state championship baseball going on. And shout out to our alma mater for
Yes,
going to the
sir.
state finals to play Brother Martin. And then shout out to the Coach Shake and the Dutchtown Griffins for taking care of business against not only Barb, but Zachary.
Come on, man. Just
They beat Zachary in the semifinals 29. And it's because Zachary's pitching completely fell apart. They ran out of pitching. But also, I don't think those boys from Dutchtown were wanting to just die out and lose, you know?
yeah. I mean, just like you said, I'm looking, just another dominant run for us. I'm looking
Yeah.
at our page now from the season. Man, we was on they was on a tear in March and April. Good gosh. Yeah.
But those games start up tomorrow night.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember before we had got before we got there, it was we only had two state titles in baseball. It's from 1953 and 1976. They won in our sophomore year in
Yeah.
2010, and then, they won again when we was freshmen in college in 2013.
Mhm.
So they won like, you know, we've won the state championship 3 times in the last 5 years, 22, 24, 25. Yeah, so we won the national title in 24 for the select. I mean, like they've done an incredible job.
Yeah, and but man, going back to LSU, the future's bright.
Yeah, I'm definitely not worried about it.
No, but so we are officially a month away from it being a year
Down and down, brother. Yes.
since we started on this journey, and I would like to shoot for 100 subscribers by the time we get to the year mark.
Where we at now? Like,
We are at 40.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, 40 on YouTube and 14 or 20. No, sorry, 20 on Spotify.
Good, good.
But we started this podcast on June 9th.
Man, I can't remember like it was yesterday. You talk about the Skip Bourbon book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that time.
Get Burtman book and then national championship.
Yeah, that's right. Right before that, yep. You was talking about the playoffs and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was in the tournament, deep in the tournament already,
Yeah.
but
And what a difference a year can make if you look at it. Because last year at this point we weren't worried.
yeah.
We weren't worried about this team's not gonna make it to Omaha.
I mean, and it's like, it goes in, you're gonna have your ebbs and flows. Like you
Mm-hmm.
say, they still got some opportunity left. It's just looking pretty bleak. I
Yeah.
just whether you sweep Florida or not, or get swept, I mean, you still gonna need a tournament championship to
Yeah.
even make the turn. That's just where I'm at. I mean, like, I'd be shell shocked if neither one of those things happen and they still make the tournament. I think I'd be shell shocked.
Yeah. But back to the year anniversary thing, I'd like to do a live stream for that. If we get up to 100 subscribers on YouTube, we will do a live stream for the year, for the 1 year episode. We would do a
Yeah,
live stream.
that's up.
So that's up to
That's
y'all.
what's up.
That's up to y'all. Y'all get us
Yeah.
up to
We
100.
we we need y'all to support, subscribe, like, comment, share everything. We
Do
got your
all
live
the
stream
things.
that you
Do
know
all
to
the
do.
things that you know how to do because you do them already.
You do them already. That's it. You do them already.
Just we got to get them up. Let's get it up. Share out the video. Share the Spotify. We got some good things coming up. It ain't gonna be all about baseball because unfortunately, it looks like our season is over with.
But that's where you
We're gonna,
guys come in because you give us the stuff to talk about, and we feed off you guys as well. So
yeah.
especially in the summertime, give us something to talk about.
You give us something to talk about, and we'll talk about it. We'll make it. I'll see if we can run it and do a couple more episodes after this year, the year
Yeah.
long thing. See about doing a couple more, 2 episodes a week, maybe starting in football season, even if it's just me breaking down the games on a Sunday.
Do what you got to do, and just
Yeah,
because, like, it's just like, and listen, we've talked about it before, guys. Listen, our pickleball stuff. We big into pickleball. Got to get back on the course. But, like, if you want to get in pickleball, you can join us. We enjoy it. I enjoy it. Just
yeah,
enjoy it. Justin put me on last year. Had a blast. Just got to get back on the court. So yeah, just looking for content and stuff to really
yeah.
build up the brand.
Well, like we said, like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the things, help us grow. And that'll do it from us. Have a great night, great day, whatever you have, just make it a great one. And that's all. See
And
you next
eat
time.
later.